Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. So today the topic is randomish. Actually, I'm going to code Emacs Lisp, and so this is a live coding session, and I'm going to work on my website. I'm going to write, so you are going to see my Emacs workflow. Let me show you what I'm gonna write about. So show Xas Talk Show. So you are going to see my Emacs workflow. So Xas Talk Show, I'm going to work on this page. This is Emacs Lisp string functions. So you go to, just search for practical Emacs Lisp. Then you can see my tutorial. You can learn Emacs from the ground up, and Emacs Lisp from the ground up, the most efficient introduction, the least time you spend, and the most Emacs Lisp learning you'll get. That's what I say about my tutorial, Practical Emacs Lisp. So in this tutorial, there's a section on all Emacs Lisp's string functions. So let me show you where. So writing a script, writing a command, interactive form, and basic functions, string functions. So click on that. So you can see this is how you find the length of a string, how you find substring, how you join string, how you split string. And about 5 years ago, Emacs introduced it, added about 10 or so more string functions, about 20 more string functions. So this is somewhat new, and not that many people know about it. So I added them here, string functions for Emacs Lisp, and but as you can see, most of them are not fully documented. I don't have a documentation here on my tutorial, as opposed to my documentation for other string functions. For example, there's an inline doc for split string, how you split a string. Then you have string to number, convert string to a number, or convert a number to a string, or format string. So I have them documented somewhat, but not these new functions. So I've been coding Emacs Lisp, in the past week. I code Emacs Lisp for the past 15 years, but I started to use these string functions in recent months. So I want to document them. So I'm going to walk through these and write the tutorial, as you can see how I work in HTML, so that they become more, nice. So you are going to watch my Emacs workflow and maybe learn something about Emacs. Hello, Luis Bro. Good morning. So if you have any questions about Emacs Lisp or Emacs, or any programming related, or any, just type any questions, okay? Maybe I can digress maybe. I'm not sure myself, because I lead a chaotic life. Like sometimes someone asks some random question, nothing to do with today's topic, and I spent 30 minutes talking about that. And sometimes I thought I should be focused anyway. So if you have questions, post it there, okay? Love to see it. So today's talk show, and of course you are looking at my keyboard. This is Kinesis Advantage 2, and this is Ultimate Hacking keyboard on top. I use it as a macro. I talked about that many times, almost in every one of my video. You go to xali.info and you go to the keyboard section, keyboards, and I've done many videos on that, keyboards, and you go to ergonomic keyboards, and you can see my reviews of the Kinesis, this one, and Ultimate Hacking, that one, and also many of these are great, okay? You go buy them. And I specifically I want to shout out for Xbox, okay, because they sent me a unit for review, but they sent me the wrong key switch, so I cannot use as my main. I need a light linear switch, red switch, but they sent me a brown instead. So anyway, this keyboard is also fantastic. You can see, okay, you cannot see it. You see over there on my bed, that's exposed. Typically, I use it when I'm lying in bed. So you are looking at my keyboard, and okay, let's do Emacs. Okay, on the pink window is all my Emacs command cores. You can see as I move cursor or delete a paragraph, you can see the command there, all the commands and keys I press. Undo. You can see undo 2 times. I'm using XARFly keys, and which is a package. You can search it, XARFly keys. That's a package for Emacs key binding, and I'm using a Vorak layout. So the keys here is Vorak. Okay, let's start to do. Any questions, comments? Okay, no. Let's start to do Emacs Lisp. Okay, so I want to document. So this page is about Emacs Lisp string functions. Okay, and I'm going to. So here is a nice documentation. Basic string functions. So I'm gonna work on this page. Copy the URL back to Emacs. Open it. Make a backup. Show the pink window. Make a backup. And you need to update the date. You can see here is the date 2021 August 29, and I want to update it to today, so I press a key that calls a command, my personal command, XAR update article timestamp. So you can see now the date is 2022 February 4th, today's date, and you can see in browser it's not refreshed yet. Let's magnify. Now refresh. Now you can see that's today's date. So we fixed the date, we made a backup, and let's start to modify and add documentation for this page. So I want to, for example, move this code block into this definition list. Okay, this page is not too consistent because in my early days of writing Emacs Lisp tutorial, I do not have the full documentation like that. You see, where is the function name, then you have the documentation for that function. But in my so this is later. I added this kind of 2 years. 2 or 3 years ago. For example, let me show you some other example. So you go to Emacs Lisp Advanced, you can see list functions. Okay, let's go sequence functions. Okay, so this page is a collection of all functions that works on the sequence type. Now, sequence type in Emacs Lisp means it's a list or a vector. A vector is like a sys array anyway. So, I have tutorials about Lisp and vector. Anyway, sequence functions. So this page is a documentation of all sequence functions, and you can see they follow this format, which is a definition list. Okay, so copy that, open that. So I can show you search for car. So you can see magnify. So you can see that start with DL. DL means definition list. You see this block. That block of code correspond to this. Let's magnify. Code correspond to this in browser. So that's the format I adopted about 2 years ago. But before that, I just have code examples. Okay, so let's go back to string function. So you can see it just close that. It just sample code without this kind of formal documentation. So that's why this page is a little bit not too consistent. So I'm wondering, should I start to add, the formal style documentation to each and every one of these functions or not? Let's not worry about it for now, okay? Because the main thing I want to do is to add documentation for these, okay? And but first of all, let's move this code block into the DL list, okay? So search for substring. There it is. So here is the code block. Cut it, move it here, paste it, and back to browser. Now, if I refresh, you'll see this code moving up. Refresh. You see? So that's better. So, makes it more, the structure of the page more clear. Any comments? Okay, no comments. Okay. So let's start to do some of these. Okay, let's begin. So string blank. Okay, so string search for blank. So I need to, so all these are a list. You can see they are a list. String function reference. Okay, so there's a lot of them I need to do. So even though they are not documented on my page, but I give a link reference to the official documentation. You can see this is the Emacs official documentation, but now there's a problem because of the white background. Okay, that's a problem. That problem, let me fix that. Okay, so let's digress. Let's go into PowerShell. PowerShell, the most fantastic shell, much better than Bash. And let's say xartoggle. Xartoggle Darktheme. Okay, do it. Yay! You can see the power of the PowerShell. You can just call this command your toggle back theme. Back theme is one of the controversial topic. Lots of my readers, you guys demand it. People ask me, Ksa, when are you going to have Darktheme? I resisted it because Darktheme is one of the fad. But a lot of my readers want it, so turns out technically it's trivial to do Darktheme. Takes 30 minutes. Just all you have to do, I talked about it before. All you have to do is let's see, theme. Okay, let me show you. Dark. Let me show you where. Okay, there it is. So magnify so you can see this section. So you are looking at XAS CSS mod, and I want to reformat them to a readable form. So I can do F9T, which calls XAS CSS format expand. So let me show you. So a little digression. Okay, so basically that paragraph. Okay, now if that paragraph I want to reformat it. So do C, yeah, do C. Wait. Anyway, that doesn't help much. But anyway, so this section is how you get Darktheme to work. So media is kind of a query. So if it says prefer color theme, now prefer color theme is the one you set up in operating system. For example, on Windows, I press Windows I. You got these, Windows settings. Then you go to personalization. Then you go to colors. Windows is idiotic. All the names are not consistent. So you have one part about themes, but that's not really about Darktheme. Then you have another section about colors. Now this is where you change the dark theme. So you can see, if you set it to light, then everything is light. So if you set it to dark, then everything is dark. Now if I press my macro button to go to the PowerShell, I can call this command, it changes that. This is my custom function in PowerShell. And how is it written? Let me show you. So a lot of digressions, but let me show you. Let me get to it. Good. Get to it one by one. So PowerShell. Okay, let's go to PowerShell. PowerShell. That's Emacs bookmarks. So that command is xar open file fast. You can find it online. Just search for that. Then you'll find the source code. That command allows you to open any bookmark by a few keystrokes. So that's what I did. I opened my PowerShell bookmark. Let me do it again. So call it, press 3 key to call it, then type POW, then there it is, my bookmark, open bookmark. Enter, that's this page. Then press a button, show it in browser. So you are looking at my PowerShell tutorial. If you like it, pay me. Okay, this is I spend a lot of time. This is one of the great tutorial because I love PowerShell. Okay, then you go to miscellaneous examples. Then here, wait, where's the set Darktheme? Let's see, backup script set Darktheme. Yeah, so at the bottom you click on that. So here is how you set Darktheme. Essentially you use PowerShell to change values in the Windows registry. So this is the line you need, to turn it on or turn it off. Then you can encapsulate it into a function. So this is the function xar toggle Darktheme. So that's how you do it. Okay, read it and use it. Fantastic. Now let's go back to xar talk show again. Open file fast. Go to using the bookmark, and let's just paste what we talked about here. Okay, and make a link. Show in browser. So we have it there. Now the things above are kind of things I want to talk about, but we're probably not gonna cover it. So anyway, so here, okay, set Darktheme. That's how you do it. Now let's go back to our CSS file. So remember, this section is how you do Darktheme. Now again, open file fast, type CSS, then there is my bookmark, CSS index. Press enter, show in browser. This is my CSS tutorial. Now you go to, do I have a section on Darktheme? So search for, press this key, key macro, search. THEME. Oh, okay, so I don't have a tutorial for that, which is one of the things I need to do to write the tutorial for Darktheme. So what are you guys here for? Do you prefer me to go on with the Emacs list, or am I doing okay random? Can you control PowerShell from Emacs? Yes, we can. That question has been asked before. Let me show you. Okay, then okay. So let me answer that question. Can you do it in Emacs? Yeah. So you go to eShell. eShell is built in Emacs, in every Emacs. Okay. Then you just type PWSH. Now PWSH. Okay. Oh, invalid argument. Okay. So you need to let's just type POWSHELL, PowerShell. Okay. Now you are in PowerShell. Now xar toggle. Now you don't have completion. So let's say xar TOGGLE Darktheme. Okay. Call my personal function. Do it. Object not found because it's not loaded. You know why? Anyway, so you are looking at PowerShell. So let's do another command, dir, okay, dir, which lists directories. So you can see that's dir. Let's do it again. Okay, dir, list directories, right? That's PowerShell. Version history. Now there's another PowerShell. Let's magnify PowerShell variable, which is, I think that's that. No, I don't remember. But anyway, I haven't set it up properly. You know, so what I'm saying is that with Emacs, by default, you can run PowerShell without installing any third-party packages. So PowerShell comes in two versions. Okay, I'm digressing over. So PowerShell, you know, to explain all these things. So PowerShell, you know, if you follow my tutorial, you can see PowerShell comes in two versions. One is, the full name is PowerShell. The other one is PWSH. Basically, PowerShell was Microsoft .NET PowerShell. That's for Windows only. But beginning around 2016, Microsoft made PowerShell open source. And Microsoft also made the entire .NET framework open source. That includes the C# language, the F# language. F# is the derivative of OCaml, functional language like Haskell, and OCaml is derivative of ML, meta language, or standard ML. Okay, you know, originally you have meta language, then you have standard meta language, SML. Then you have object meta language, OML. Then you have and categorical object meta language, something that's OCaml. Okay, so OCaml is analogous. It's very similar to Haskell, and it's much more applications has been written in OCaml. So, and then F# is Microsoft's version of OCaml. Okay, Microsoft, you know, created a version of OCaml that's called F#, and that's part of the .NET platform. .NET, you know, C#, F#, among other things like Visual Basic .NET. So that's digression. So PowerShell is also based on .NET. Okay. But before 2016, it's all Microsoft only. You can only run it on Microsoft, and it's proprietary. But beginning in 2016, Microsoft made them all open source. So the entire .NET and C#, F#, PowerShell, and .NET libraries and the runtime system and anyway, it's all open source. So that is why now you have two commands. Now, every Windows operating system comes with PowerShell, the original Windows-only PowerShell. Okay, I explained them in detail here. But beginning with PowerShell version 6, you know, it's called PowerShell Core, which is the open source version. Microsoft no longer developed the Microsoft-only version anymore. But however, every Windows comes with PowerShell. For example, GCM. Okay, GCM stands for get command. Okay, for example, I type GCM PowerShell. You can see that is the executable name of the PowerShell, and that PowerShell is the original Microsoft-only PowerShell. Comes with every Windows 10 since Windows 7 or something. Since basically 2010, something like that. But now, if you want the cross-platform PowerShell, the command name is PWSH. Okay, so that's why you have two versions. One of them, the open source version, you have to install. It runs on Linux, runs on Mac, you know, cross-platform. And so I was showing in eShell, in Emacs eShell, so you can launch you can launch like let's say exit, okay, exit. So right now I'm E shell, so you can launch PowerShell, but so you see it run PowerShell, but it doesn't know, it wasn't able to find PWSH. So what I need to do is I need to launch that via the full path. So how do I find the full path? So help GCM. So GCM is an alias for get command, okay? So, which is equivalent, analogous to the Unix which, the Unix which command. So you're looking at GCM. So let's see the documentation. I want to see the full path of the PWSH, okay? So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Where is it? GCM. Okay, GCM get commands name. Too much to read. But I think it's option. Wait, GCM PWSH pybit 2. Full name. I'm not. Okay, does that work? No. Let's try that. Okay. I'm not expert at PowerShell yet. Okay, so okay. So right now I'm trying to find the full path of PWSH via this way, via the get command command. Okay, but there's an easier way. The easier way is to just do this version table, PS version table. Okay, PS version table. Okay, then it shows you version edition. Yeah, but where is the full path? Okay, version table. Okay, I want to know the full path of PWSH. Now, this, so okay, so yeah. Anyway, let's skip that. I can find it, but it takes me 2 minutes or so. It's kind of boring. So anyway, so you can run in eShell without installing any package. Now there is also a package for running PowerShell you can install for Melpa, but I would recommend just stick with okay. So it's up to you. You can stick with eShell and okay. So I can run PowerShell, but do I have XAR? No completion, okay. TOGGLE toggle. Let's see, XAR toggle Darktheme, right? There it is. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so here is what to do. Okay, now I know. Now we found out. Okay, close this, kill it. Yes. Okay, let me show you how to do. So first of all, go to eShell. eShell is built in. Then start PowerShell. Okay, now you are running PowerShell. Now, once you are in PowerShell, then it knows the path to PWSH. Now you start PWSH. Okay. Now it loads all my functions. Now I can call XAR Darktheme. Copy it, paste it. There it is. Fantastic. Run it again. Darktheme, toggle Darktheme, fantastic. Power of PowerShell and power of eShell and power of Emacs. Of course, you have to write that. So that's the power of Emacs Lisp, today's topic. So PowerShell, so we talked about Darktheme, toggle Darktheme. But we need to fix this page, this Emacs manual on my website. That's one of the problem of Darktheme. Okay, Darktheme. Let me get back to the CSS. Technology again. So Darktheme, in theory, this is all you need. Just check the system preference. If the user's operating system is set to dark, then all you have to do is body background color black and text color white. That's all you have to do. And also change the link color, because normally a blue link is hard to read when the background is black. Okay, that's all you have to do. Basically just this 5 lines of code to make your website Darktheme. But however, then you got this run into lots of little problems, such as let's make it dark, such as this. Text disappear. Sometimes it's images that disappear. Image with transparent background that just disappear. So you have to fish them out. So it takes 10 minutes to create a Darktheme CSS for your website. But if your website has 10,000 pages like mine, written in the past 20 years, then lots of those pages will have disappearing text. So you have to actually find them each, so it takes me a week almost, to fix lots of them. And now we are running into another one. Okay. So, but before we do anything, let's return the format here. Okay. So that's my original format. Close that. Okay, close that. So now let's show the talk show. Wait, what page am I on? Show the talk show. Close that. Copy CSS back to my talk show. Let's paste the topics we talked about here. Okay. PowerShell. Copy that. Paste it here. And back here, Emacs page. Emacs Lisp documentation on characters and strings. Paste it here. We talked about. And this keyboard, someone was talking about this keyboard. This is a Japanese keyboard, very popular in the 1980s, but mostly in Japan, although it's specified by Microsoft. Very interesting. This keyboard is interesting because we get to see the different historical arrangements of the arrow key, to say the least. Okay, you can see the arrow key is arranged in kind of a cross way. And you can see another one here. And here it's a bit different. It's like, it's side by side, left and right arrows, and above and below them you have up and down arrow. So here, same thing. Okay, then you have a cross. Then you have this arrangement. Different arrangements of the arrow key. That's another topic. I have an article on that, which is what is the most efficient arrangement of the arrow keys. For example, normally it's like inverted T. That's the standard version. Inverted T. Then you also have in a row like the VI, HJKL. I have an article on that, and I did a video a year ago about that. Okay, so anyway, so we haven't finished about the Darktheme yet because we need to fix that website. Okay, so hold on a second. So this page is wrong. This link, let me just fix it. Okay, so anyway, we want to fix this Emacs Lisp page. Okay, so let's do that. So what is the problem here? So the problem we need to find, so what is this, say char equal? So go to the top, search for char equal. Okay, so here is the line, and DL, so DL, that's that, and where's the code? That's the example part. Okay, pre-class example. Okay, pre-class example. So now let's go pre-class example. Let's go to my CSS, GNU style CSS. That's the problem is caused by this GNU Free Software Foundation's CSS. Okay, so let's comment that out. Refresh. Yeah. So I don't want that. So you see, this line is a problem. This is GNU. This is, you are looking at the mirror of the GNU Free Software Foundation's Emacs Lisp documentation on my website. And so they have their custom CSS, and which is incompatible with Darktheme. Okay, so I'm going to fix it. How I'm gonna fix it is just by removing it. Because I spent an hour the other day looking at their CSS, so I'm going to remove it. So what I do, so now if you drop down to the dire directory, you can see here's the files. So there are 1,000 of them. So for each one of them, you open it, search for CSS, you can see it's loading that GNU CSS. Open it, so that's a GNU CSS. So so what you want to do, I want to remove this line of code for all these 1,000 pages. Okay, so what I do is I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so call this command, find replace, paste that line, enter, replace string, enter blank. In this directory, GNU Emacs manual, yes, enter. File path regular expression, HTML, enter. Minimal the depth, 0. Max the depth, 99. Write changes to file, yes. Fixed case in search, yes. Fixed case in replacement, yes. Make backup, yes. Okay, it'll take 10 seconds to do all the replacements. So this is one of my package, XAR find and replace. Okay, very super convenient. Okay, it's done. So you magnify, so you can press left right arrow to see the replacement. You see, now you are seeing empty bracket because the replacement is empty. We simply deleted it. And each of the pink line is the file name. So you can scroll down all the way. It takes, there are 1,000, basically 1,000 replacements. So a number before the file name means how many changes occurred. So it's 1. So you just scroll down, you hold down the right arrow key, you just go to the next occurrence. So this, many. So you can see. So now if you move to any one of them, press enter to open the file, you can see that line is gone. Now run show in browser, you can see that's how this page looks in browser. So that's done. So that's how I change actually more than 1,000, because if you go to the dire directory, you can see this is Emacs Lisp manual. Go up one directory, you can see I changed both the Emacs list manual and the Emacs manual. So let's open the Emacs manual. You can see it also made a backup. You know, all these are, let's magnify, remove, hide the irrelevant information. You can, and again, you can see all my commands in the ping window. You see diet hide details mod. That's how I hide the date, the Unix thing, you know, owner, group, permission, you know, 666. this dash W, dash RW, dash RW, dash RW. That means 666, my friends, which has significance in white man's society. But I don't know that, you know, because I'm Chinese. When I came to USA, I didn't know what is 666. Why are these people talking about it all the time? What's a big deal? But all the white people knows about it because that's part of your history. I didn't know. You know, in Chinese, 6 is a lucky number. 666 in particular is the luckiest number. Like when you throw a dice, you want 666. Because the pronunciation of the number 6 corresponds to the word for luck, okay, in Chinese. Like longevity, like live long and prosperity. That's what 666 means. Different culture, different meaning, okay. So we happen to upon the Unix file name permission 666, okay, which I need to show. Practical Linux tutorial. You know, just go to my website, you'll find it, Xali, Practical Linux tutorial, and scroll down, and you'll see a page about file permissions, the Unix cryptic file permission system. There it is, file permission. You know, the permission, the root, wheel, group, owner, group, file name, and, you know, root, you know, sudo. Esoteric crap, the worst design possible. The Unix file name system, the Unix permission system, the worst hack possible of the C lineage, the granddaddy of everything that's wrong in computing industry, Unix. Okay, Unix file name permission system. Okay, let's go back to talk show. We digressed. Okay, hold on a second. Unix file name permission system, and go back, Linux tutorial, copy. So I have a record what we talked about. We're gonna get into them one by one, okay? So now we show this in browser so you can see there, okay? Now we go back to fixing this page. Okay, so we go back. Yeah, so let me show you the XAR find and replace. Okay, so first of all, if you look at the pink window, you can see now I call describe key by a key, then I press the command. Okay, wait, I call what? Yeah. I call describe key, then I press the key to launch XAR find replace, okay, which is that, okay. So you can see this key runs XAR find replace text and tab to the source code. Enter, you are looking at the source code of my package XAR find, which is find and replace and grab and set in Emacs Lisp. So 700 lines. If you like it, pay me to get it. Okay. Show in browser. So this is a home page for XAR find replace package, which I demonstrated many times, and you have just seen. Paste it here. Okay. So we have just fixed. Let's go back here. Yeah. So we should, you know, now if we refresh, it should be fixed. Let's refresh this finger, okay? One button press. Do it. Fantastic. Darktheme. Fixed a Darktheme problem for 1,800 pages. So you can see, go back to the, reread from disk, yes. You see that GNU style is gone. That's good. And if I were doing this on my own, there's more things needs to fix, because you see that part of that is hidden. So I need to add I need to change my CSS and add a little bit. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna fix it offline. Okay, so now we started to have more people. Something like which command? That's right. Tongtongosat. You guys, weird names. Louis says, Xa, who hates Unix culture, still gets excited when Emacs every day. Yes, that's a big history about that topic. Remember, where does Emacs come from? Emacs came from Free Software Foundation, Free Software Foundation's GNU project. And what does GNU means? GNU means GNU is not Unix. That's history, very interesting. Why? Because Richard Stallman hated Unix. Why? Because Unix was the proprietary corporation run by the AT&T empire, the Death Star. Okay, we digressed so much. As time goes on, history gets twisted. Nobody knows what's going on. And think that, GNU, Emacs is part of Unix. Actually, it's more, nothing could be further away from that. Emacs is Richard Stallman Foundation. GNU is not Unix. They make fun of Unix because they are not in the same community. Richard Stallman, because Unix is proprietary. They making money and stuff, and also the Emacs camp is part of the Lisp community. Lisp community is the enemy of the Unix and C community, the fuckheads. I'm in the Lisp community camp. Unix and C, the criminals of the computing industry. On the other hand, their enemy, the mutual enemies, is the Lisp. They think about things differently. So Emacs is part of the Unix, the part of the GNU, the Lisp camp. Nothing to do with Unix. But then you just don't, anyway. So now let's refresh the directory so you can see all the backups that Xafind made, for 1,000 files. Okay, close that. So I want to double check the changes I made. Okay, so back to here. Okay. So let me mention, so since we are talking about that, let me mention a few more things, but before we do that, let me fix this. There's a bug in my XAHTML file. I need XAHTML mod I need to fix because it doesn't link the, let me do it now, okay? Yeah, okay, now it's fixed. So okay, show in browser. Let's wait. Show in browser. So this is what we talked about. PowerShell Darktheme toggle, the toggle command. PowerShell install print version. How to run Emacs shell. Let's write down what we did because it's better that way for people who are not watching me online in real time. They can see this is what actually I talked about instead of just a bunch of links. So Darktheme, how to do. So let's write down what we talked about. How to do Darktheme in CSS. 5 minutes. 1 minute of 5 lines of code. But if you have 1,000 HTML pages written in past 20 years, you have a lot to fix. Disappearing inks. Okay, that's what. And this PowerShell, a function in PowerShell to toggle Darktheme. Okay, that's a function in PowerShell to toggle Darktheme. What? Okay, I think we have some, wait. Go down. Now, this I'm not gonna do today, so I need to remove them. Okay, so a function in PowerShell to toggle Darktheme. How to do Darktheme in CSS in 1 minute, but lots of disappearing inks. Now, and then how to run PowerShell in eShell. Okay. How to run PowerShell in Emacs. Okay, so that is that about. Then we have Visual CSS. Let's move that here. Refresh. Visual CSS. How do you do Darktheme for your website, for your blog? Okay, then we were talking about Emacs Lisp, so we haven't started to talk about that yet. You know, the string functions, I was working on that. And find and replace package of XAR, you know, find replace package, buy it, okay, pay me, support me, sponsor me, PayPal, Patreon, and you guys, you know, if you like my video, buy me a drink. However much that costs in your abode, in your dwelling place, in your location, in your country. So find replace package. Then we have practical Linux tutorial, which we are talking about Linux file permission. Okay, yeah. So, but I want to show you something else. You will see it here. Okay, just give me a moment. You go down. The Unix pestilence. Okay, it's almost like every. I need to show that in every one of my videos. Unix pestilence. Okay, the history of Unix. So why show this page? Because we trace back to the history of Unix. You see, AT&T. Here is where AT&T came in, where BSD is poking a hole of the AT&T Death Star. So AT&T Death Star we talked about yesterday. So let me show you. Okay, so go to hacker code. Then you'll find a page about logos design in software industry. Open it. You'll see all the greatest logos in the history of software. You know, some of them great, such as the SGI logo. The company no longer exists, bought by Oracle. Samba, you know, the granddaddy. That's file sharing between Windows on the Mac, between Windows and Mac. That's what you need. Samba, open source, but it's Microsoft technology. Thank you, Microsoft. Since 1990s, Samba, file sharing network technology. So if you have a Mac, if you have a Windows, you need to share files between them. That's Samba. That's behind the scenes. You know, Apple also, ported it to the Mac, and on Linux, whenever you need to share files with Windows, that's what you do. So, but we are showing this page because I wanted to show the AT&T Death Star, which is one of the greatest logo design in the logo design history. Logos, you guys don't know, you may not know because you guys are nerds, Logo is one of the big things in graphics design. In general, it's called communication art, okay? So the F# logo, for example, that's the worst idiotic crap. So there's a madness to it. There's how to design logo. What constitutes a good logo? What is a bad logo? Many of the people, they don't know, the coders, for example, yeah. So I want to, so purpose of logo and principle of logo design. So you can see here is an example of the greatest logo, Java. GNU, this benevolent GNU. GNU means an animal, some kind of antelope, in wild beast in Africa. That's what GNU is. So GNU, the Free Software Foundation, their project GNU, their logo is the GNU head. GNU's logo is a GNU. So this is one of the great element of a great logo design. You want to remind people of what it is. And also this smiling GNU, that's kind of the mentality, the attitude of the Free Software Foundation. Communism, sharing, benevolent. That's what it is. So Java, Java is a drink, coffee drink. Microsoft Windows, you can see this kind of window, Microsoft Windows, and Apple. All these are great logo designs, except this Perl, the Perl idiocy. So, in McDonald's, everyone knows, Shell, Honda, Yamaha, Taco Bell, Wikipedia, the puzzle, the jigsaw puzzle of the world's languages, Wikipedia. Let's see, this is SVG, right? So let's magnify, see them in glorious magnification. Wikipedia logo, great design. It takes designers to do that. But then there it is, AT&T Death Star, nicknamed Death Star by people. AT&T. Oh, it's PNG. I don't have the SVG. So I mentioned AT&T from Unix. That's what that poking at AT&T. That's what That's AT&T's logo. AT&T was the greatest empire in 1970s to 1980s. The biggest empire, like what you might think of Google, running the whole earth, kind of. They do communication. They control communication, just like today's Google and Facebook, AT&T. And the Unix came from AT&T. You have to thank AT&T. Thank you, AT&T, for creating Linux for us. Fuck you, open source fuckheads. So AT&T and ATI is dead. ATI is bought by this company. ATI is bought by AMD. ATI became AMD. Then AMD became China. Wait, I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's Apache, and like the lying scumbag Apache. Apache, the name, they came from Patchy. Patch. You patch your server. Like the open source spirit. You write lots of bugs. So it doesn't work, and you look into the source code, you fix it, and you patch it. Today you don't use the word patch much anymore because you use GitHub, or before that Mercury and so on. But before or SVN, But even so, in the 90s and 2000s, patching is common. You may or may not have a version control system for your software, but you use patch. You make a change, you send a patch to someone. That's the origin of the name Apache. But now, after 10 years, after 15 years, on their website, Apache, they say, they have a FAQ, frequently asked questions. Why is Apache named Apache? Oh, that's because we respect the American, the Indian people, where the white people massacred, genocide. Now is the time for Google to ban this YouTube. The white people wiped out the red-skinned people. But we respect them. We respect they are the greatest people. We must respect them. Apache, the tribe, the Indian, the redskin. Therefore, we named our software Apache. Sorry, Apache name. Okay, search for it. I have an article on that. Apache rewrite history. So here's a version from 1997. From their official website. Why is Apache named Apache? Oh, that's because it's just a cute name. Let me magnify so you can see. It's just a cute name which stuck. Apache is a Apache server. It was based on some existing code and a series of patch files. Patch files. That's what you do. Then, fast forward to 2013. Why the name Apache? The name Apache was chosen from respect for the Native American Indian tribe of Apache. The fuck open source fuckheads. That's you guys. Those of you, open source. You need to open source. Fuckheads. Nobody knows. Nobody. That's okay. Then this article got. How do I know? Because back then, 1997. Apache is one of the technology I'm deeply involved with. I'm doing, the .com days. We write one of the first e-commerce software, like Yahoo Store, like Amazon. We write the first e-commerce software system so that third parties such as Yahoo or Verizon, they can run our software and create a e-store. And with lots of merchants, they can sell like AliExpressway, like Amazon. So I was writing that, and back then Apache, we use Apache, so I know a lot about Apache 20 years ago. I woke up, and I was I'm part of the Unix open source spirit. I'm for Richard Stallman. I'm for, the ethic, the not open source, but the free software foundation. That's a proper, not just let's don't talk about ethics. Let's just make them open source. Focus on that so that corporations can feel at ease. I was against that. So I was more for the Richard Stallman. But as you get old, you realize things are not the way they are, and it got worse. After 20 years, it becomes very bad. And now you have this Apache openly lying about openly this. What are these people? Malingering programmers, or today's you guys Zoomers, the fuckheads. You have this situation. They openly lie on their website. Because we respect Native Americans. And back then, in the 1990s. That Native American tribe Apache, there's a fight for the domain name. Okay, Apache. You see, now it's now it's beautiful. Apache, the Apache Software Foundation, established 1999. There's an age, respect, fucking scums, with a ApacheCon with a heart, the fuckheads. These are the people, the white people that genocide the red-skinned people. And they say, oh, you cannot say Redskin. That's that's something. The fuckheads. It is these social justice warriors. And Apache, oh, back then, 20 years ago, the tribe was fighting for that domain name because Apache, was their tribe's domain. But Apache, I forgot what they do, but they basically, I think the tribe sued Apache. They want the domain back, but Apache says, no, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. We are Apache. We are better. Fucking fuck. So today's generation, you guys, don't know. History, it's forgotten. Now you have new generation, and you think, oh, let's do open source. Let's help humanity. Fuck. Oh, look at that. This is a Xar guy. He's a bad guy. What the fuck? He's like evil. Okay, so that's a lot digression into this angry stuff. Typical, it's fairly common in my talk show. These open source scums. Remember, I was open source. I was not open source. I was pro Richard Stallman Free Software Foundation. I've been banned for saying good things about Richard Stallman and stuff. I've been banned in many places, but things turn around, and and new generation and massive brainwashing. You don't know what you're talking about. Like a lot of you people, don't know what you're talking about. You think and I suppose that happens a lot in history. That's how the generation, the cycle turns. That's how things are. Okay, so I talked about over an hour already, and I don't think we started to do what we originally began to do. So Unix Pistons Apache rewrite history. So here is a documentation of it, and it's being on Hacker News. Okay, it's being posted to Hacker News. And there's a lot of stories. A lot of this controversy, or many of the open source scums doing things turns up, but you don't know it. You don't know it because Google don't want you to know. Google, Facebook, they don't want you to know. And Microsoft today, they are all pro open source. They are the blood that runs open source. Without their money, open source dies right off. And Ubuntu and Red Hat, Google is putting money into them. So that if you are a software programmer, the only way to survive is to work for Google or Microsoft or Facebook. If you make a complaint, if you say men are not women, or they are not the same thing, you'll get wiped, and there's nothing you can do. That's the power of open source. Okay, so another open source rant. So what to do next? I think I'm going to read comments. I'm gonna read comments, and originally, so I'm gonna shut down. Okay, so let's see. I talked about that today. I talked about logos. We talked about logos, and do I have this here? Logo design. Okay, no, so add it there. Close it. I'm about to close, I think. So I'm gonna read comments, answer some questions, and close. So here is the GNU Emacs website. Refresh. I need to fix that part. Okay, so what else? CSS we talked about. PowerShell we talked about. Close. MSX computer. Okay, let's put the page here. Yeah. Close. Topic notes. Close. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna just read the comments and we shut down in 3 minutes, I think. So originally I was doing, this page. I was going to do some workflow, but MSX in Brazil. Okay, cool. Yeah, I heard that MXS computer, is also popular in Brazil. Justin Scarfi, say something more than how are you? Hello, Cortez. Fantastic, Cortez. Talent, Kekma. Okay, Kekma, Kek. You've seen people who love both C and Lisp. Well, not really. Of course you can. They are always in the opposite camps. Okay. Nginx. Okay, yeah. So it makes you wonder what you will brainwash into your generation. No. Okay, not much comment. I think that's it. Okay, bye guys.